Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in life when we ask ourselves a question that echoes beyond our own existence. Why am I here? This question is not meant to be answered with logic alone, for it is not a problem to be solved, it is a truth to be uncovered. It is a journey of remembrance, an awakening to something that has always been within you. We have been taught to seek purpose in titles, accomplishments, and recognition. But these things, like shifting sands, will never offer the grounding we seek. A true why is not built on external validation. It arises from the stillness within. If you quiet the mind and step into the present moment, you will feel it. Something deeper calling you, not from the outside, but from within. It is not the voice of fear, nor the restless pull of ambition. It is the quiet knowing that there is a path meant for you, one that aligns not with what the world expects, but with the essence of who you are. Your why is not something you must chase. It is something that emerges when you surrender to the present. It may not come as a grand revelation. It may be as simple as the joy you feel when helping another, the peace in creating something from the heart, or the lightness that arises when you follow what truly moves you. Many people spend their lives chasing success, wealth, or recognition, believing these external achievements will bring lasting fulfillment. However, there comes a time when even after attaining these things, a deeper sense of dissatisfaction remains. This is because true fulfillment does not come from what we acquire, but from understanding why we do what we do. A sense of purpose is what gives life meaning, anchoring us in something beyond momentary pleasures or material success. Purpose is not merely a goal, it is the underlying reason behind our actions. When we move through life without a clear sense of why we are doing something, we can easily become lost, feeling as though we are merely going through the motions. The mind craves direction, and without it, we become susceptible to external influences, chasing the expectations of others, conforming to societal norms, or seeking temporary validation. But a life guided by external measures alone often leads to exhaustion and a sense of emptiness. True satisfaction arises only when our actions align with a deeper purpose. A strong sense of purpose acts as an inner compass, providing clarity even in uncertain times. When we know our why, challenges no longer feel like insurmountable obstacles. They become stepping stones. Difficulties still arise, but they are met with a greater sense of resilience because we are working towards something that holds meaning. Purpose creates an inner stability that external circumstances cannot shake. Even when we face setbacks, our deeper reason for moving forward remains intact. This is why people who are deeply connected to their purpose often exude a sense of peace and certainty even in the face of adversity. They are not easily swayed by fear, failure, or doubt, because their motivation does not come from fleeting desires, but from something deeply rooted within. When we understand why we are doing something, our actions become infused with passion and intention. We are no longer just working a job, we are contributing to something meaningful. We are no longer just making decisions, we are moving toward a vision that aligns with our innermost values. Discovering purpose does not always mean finding a single grand mission in life. It can be found in the simplest moments. Helping others, creating something with love, or even approaching daily tasks with mindfulness. It is not the what that matters most, but the why behind it. Someone may find deep purpose in teaching because they love empowering others with knowledge. Another may find purpose in art, expressing emotions that words cannot capture. The form purpose takes is different for everyone, but the common thread is that it brings a sense of fulfillment that external rewards alone cannot provide. In a world that often prioritizes productivity and achievement, it is easy to forget to ask why we are doing what we do. But without this awareness, we risk spending years climbing a ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. Taking the time to discover one's purpose is not a luxury, it is a necessity. It transforms the way we experience life, allowing us to move through the world with a sense of meaning, fulfillment, and inner peace. In the modern world, where distractions are constant and external demands are endless, it is easy to lose touch with ourselves. We are bombarded with noise, opinions, responsibilities, and the ever-present pull of technology, leaving little room for inner stillness. Yet, clarity about our purpose does not arise from more thinking or more doing. It emerges in the quiet space between thoughts, in the stillness that exists beyond the noise of the mind. When we are constantly engaged with external stimulation, our minds become cluttered. A busy mind jumps from one thought to another, filled with worries about the past or concerns about the future. This mental chatter drowns out the subtle yet profound guidance that arises from within. In this state, it is difficult to recognize what truly matters to us, because we are too consumed by surface-level distractions. Without moments of stillness, we are likely to mistake temporary desires for deeper purpose, confusing short-term gratification with long-term fulfillment. And they are the fuel for transformation. Inner stillness is not about withdrawing from life or escaping responsibilities. It is about creating space to listen, to observe without reacting, to be fully present without judgment. In stillness, we are able to see beyond our conditioned thoughts, beyond the expectations placed upon us. We begin to recognize the difference between what we have been told to want and what truly resonates with us at the deepest level. This distinction is crucial, as many people unknowingly chase goals that were never truly theirs to begin with. When we cultivate stillness, we develop the ability to witness our thoughts rather than be controlled by them. We begin to notice patterns, the fears that hold us back, the conditioning that shapes our choices, the inner conflicts that keep us stuck. Clarity comes not from analyzing these things endlessly, but from observing them with awareness. The more we create space for inner silence, the more we allow our true purpose to reveal itself naturally, without force. Stillness also connects us to intuition, an innate knowing that is often drowned out by excessive thinking. Intuition does not operate in the realm of logic and analysis. It arises as a deep sense of inner truth, a quiet but certain feeling that guides us. This inner guidance cannot be found in external sources. It must be felt directly. When we pause and listen, we begin to recognize what feels right, what resonates deeply, and what aligns with our true nature. Cultivating stillness can be as simple as spending time in nature, practicing deep breathing, or sitting in silence for a few moments each day. It does not require elaborate techniques, only a willingness to slow down and be present. Over time, this practice shifts our awareness from the constant pull of external distractions to the quiet wisdom within. Discovering our purpose is not about seeking answers outside of ourselves. It is about clearing away the noise that prevents us from seeing what has been there all along. Stillness is the doorway to clarity, and when we step through it, we realize that our why has never been lost. It has only been waiting to be heard. Many people go through life unknowingly guided by their ego, believing that their sense of purpose must be tied to achievement, status, or validation from others. The ego thrives on comparison, on feeling superior or inferior, and on constantly seeking approval. It convinces us that our worth is measured by external success, leading us to chase goals that may not truly align with who we are. But discovering our deeper purpose requires us to go beyond the ego and connect with something more authentic. Something that is not based on competition, fear, or the need to prove ourselves. The ego is a false sense of self built from past experiences, social conditioning, and the labels we attach to ourselves. It tells us we must be somebody to be valued. It equates purpose with personal achievement rather than meaningful contribution. When we operate from this place, we often make choices based on what will gain the most recognition, financial reward, or social approval, rather than what genuinely fulfills us. But external success without inner alignment often leads to an emptiness that no amount of achievement can fill. Letting go of the ego does not mean abandoning ambition or rejecting all external success. It means shifting the motivation behind our actions. Instead of asking, how can I be recognized, or what will make me look successful, we begin to ask, what feels deeply meaningful, and how can I serve in a way that brings fulfillment? When we move beyond ego-driven desires, we discover that true purpose is not about what we can get from the world, but what we can give to it. One way the ego keeps us from discovering our why is by creating fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being enough. It convinces us that we must achieve certain things before we can feel worthy. But real purpose does not come from proving ourselves. It comes from aligning with something that feels true, regardless of external validation. When we stop seeking approval, we become free to follow what genuinely resonates with us. Another way the ego distorts our sense of purpose is by attaching it to identity. We may believe that we are our profession, our title, or our role in society. But if purpose is tied only to these things, what happens when they change? If a career ends, a title is lost, or circumstances shift, do we also lose our sense of meaning? True purpose is not dependent on any external identity. It exists beyond roles and labels, rooted in something deeper, our values, our passions, and our ability to contribute to something meaningful. Going beyond the ego requires self-awareness. It means observing our thoughts and recognizing when they are driven by fear, comparison, or the need for approval. It means questioning whether the goals we pursue are truly ours or simply reflections of societal expectations. And most importantly, it means trusting that we are already enough as we are, without needing to prove our worth through external success. When we move beyond the ego, we realize that purpose is not about becoming something. It is about being fully present in what we do, with a heart that seeks to give rather than to gain. In this space, we no longer chase purpose, we live it. Many people believe that discovering their purpose requires deep analysis, future planning, or searching for external signs. They believe it is something to be found out there, as if it exists in a distant moment yet to come. But in truth, our purpose is not waiting in the future. It is here in the present moment. The reason so many struggle to find their why is because they are too caught up in past regrets or future anxieties, unable to fully experience the now. The mind is conditioned to seek answers in time. It revisits the past, trying to make sense of what has already happened, or projects itself into the future, hoping that clarity will come later. But the past is unchangeable, and the future is uncertain. The only moment that ever truly exists is this one, right now. And it is in this present moment that our deepest sense of purpose can be discovered. When we are fully present, we begin to see life with greater clarity. We are not distracted by thoughts of what should have been or fears of what might be. Instead, we are tuned in to what is. This heightened awareness allows us to notice the subtle feelings, intuitions, and inspirations that arise naturally. These are the quiet whispers of our purpose, always present, but often drowned out by mental noise. Purpose is not something we must struggle to uncover. It reveals itself when we let go of the need to control and simply be. Consider how effortlessly children express joy, curiosity, and creativity. They do not overthink their actions or question their worth. They simply follow what excites them in the moment. As adults, we lose this ability because we are conditioned to believe that purpose must be complicated or tied to long-term achievements. But purpose is not a destination, it is a way of being. It is found in how we show up in each moment, fully engaged, fully alive. Many people spend their lives waiting for the right opportunity, the right circumstances, or the right feeling before taking action. But purpose does not come from waiting. It comes from participating in life as it unfolds. When we immerse ourselves in the present moment, we naturally align with what feels meaningful. A conversation, an act of kindness, a creative spark. These small moments often hold more purpose than the grand plans we try to force into existence. Letting go of past regrets is crucial in this process. Many carry the weight of past mistakes, believing they have strayed too far from their path. But purpose is not something that can be lost. It is always available, waiting to be recognized. Similarly, releasing attachment to the future allows us to stop chasing an illusion of one day and start living fully today. Living with purpose is not about finding the perfect plan for our lives. It is about bringing presence and awareness to whatever we are doing in this moment. When we stop searching outside ourselves and instead connect with the here and now, we realize that purpose has never been hidden. It has only been waiting for us to be present enough to see it. Many people believe that discovering their purpose is a deeply personal journey, something meant solely for their own fulfillment. While personal growth is important, true purpose is often found not in what we gain for ourselves, but in how we contribute to something greater than us. The deepest and most lasting fulfillment comes when we shift our focus from self-centered desires to a purpose that benefits others, our community, or even the world. Purpose is about connection. No one exists in isolation. Our lives are interwoven with those around us. When we align our actions with service, compassion, and meaningful contribution, we tap into something far greater than individual ambition. This is why people who dedicate their lives to helping others, whether through teaching, healing, creating, or inspiring, often feel the most fulfilled. Their purpose is not just about personal achievement, but about uplifting those around them. It is easy to fall into the belief that purpose must be grand or world-changing, that only those who lead movements or accomplish extraordinary feats are truly living with meaning. But serving something bigger than yourself does not always mean making large-scale changes. It can be as simple as being present for others, sharing kindness, or using your unique skills in ways that bring value to those around you. A single conversation can uplift someone's spirit. A small act of generosity can change a person's day. These moments, though small, create ripples far beyond what we can see. When we serve beyond ourselves, our struggles and worries often become lighter. Many who feel lost or disconnected are caught in self-focused concerns, wondering if they are successful enough, if they are doing life correctly, or if they are meeting expectations. But the moment we shift our focus outward, we move beyond these limitations. Helping others brings a sense of purpose that is immediate and deeply fulfilling. It reminds us that life is not just about personal success, but about meaningful connection and contribution. Another important aspect of serving a greater purpose is recognizing that each person has unique gifts. And these gifts are meant to be shared. Creativity, leadership, compassion, or the ability to listen. Whatever strengths we have, they become most powerful when used for the benefit of others. A musician's talent can bring joy and inspiration. A teacher's wisdom can shape young minds. A scientist's discoveries can improve countless lives. No matter the path, purpose is magnified when it extends beyond personal gain and into service. This does not mean we should neglect ourselves or sacrifice our well-being for others. True purpose is a balance. It is about giving from a place of wholeness, not depletion. When we take care of our own well-being, we can give more meaningfully. The key is to recognize that fulfillment does not come from isolated success, but from being part of something greater than ourselves. When we ask not just what do I want, but how can I contribute, we begin to see life differently. Our actions take on new meaning, and even the simplest moments become purposeful. In serving others, we find ourselves. In lifting others, we rise. And in giving, we receive something far greater than anything we could achieve alone. Deep, lasting fulfillment. Challenges are often seen as obstacles, something to avoid, resist, or overcome as quickly as possible. Many people believe that a meaningful and purposeful life is one free from struggle, filled only with success and ease. However, this perception is misleading. Challenges are not barriers to discovering our purpose, they are the very experiences that shape it. Difficult moments, setbacks, and hardships are not signs that we are on the wrong path. Instead, they are teachers guiding us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and our why. When faced with adversity, it is natural to ask, why is this happening to me? But a more empowering question is, what is this teaching me? Every challenge carries wisdom, even if it is difficult to see in the moment. Hardships push us beyond our comfort zones, forcing us to grow, adapt, and look within. They reveal our strengths, expose our fears, and refine our sense of purpose. Without struggle, there is no growth. Without obstacles, there is no need for inner transformation. Consider the people who have found deep purpose in their lives. Leaders, healers, artists, and innovators. Many of them did not discover their calling in moments of ease, but in moments of hardship. They were shaped by loss, failure, or moments of deep uncertainty. It was through their struggles that they found clarity, resilience, and a passion for something greater than themselves. Often, the challenges we face are directly connected to our purpose. The pain we endure can become the reason we choose to help others heal. The difficulties we overcome can become the wisdom we share. Challenges also teach us detachment from rigid expectations. Many people set a path for their lives, believing they must follow a specific plan to find meaning. But when life does not go according to plan, they feel lost. In reality, difficulties arise to redirect us, to show us paths we may not have considered. Sometimes, what we perceive as a failure is simply life moving us towards something more aligned with our deeper purpose. What appears to be a closed door is often an invitation to step through another, more meaningful one. Another lesson that challenges bring is resilience. Purpose is not discovered in comfort, it is forged in persistence. Every time we face difficulties and keep going, we build inner strength. We learn that we are capable of handling uncertainty, that we can rise after falling, and that setbacks do not define us. This resilience is essential for living with purpose, as every meaningful path comes with its own trials. Those who embrace challenges rather than avoid them develop a deep sense of confidence and trust in the process of life. Challenges teach us presence. When things are going well, it is easy to live on autopilot. But when faced with difficulties, we are forced into awareness. We are asked to be fully present, to confront our fears, and to examine what truly matters. In these moments, we often find the deepest clarity about who we are and why we are here. Struggles do not take us away from our purpose. They reveal it. If we approach challenges with openness rather than resistance, they become opportunities for transformation. They shape our path, refine our vision, and deepen our understanding of what truly matters. Instead of fearing obstacles, we can begin to see them as stepping stones, each one bringing us closer to the deeper meaning we seek. Many people believe that purpose is something they must find before they can start living a meaningful life. They wait for a grand realization, hoping that clarity will strike like a lightning bolt. But purpose is not discovered through endless thinking or waiting for the perfect moment. It is revealed through action, through fully engaging with life as it unfolds. We do not find our purpose by sitting still. We find it by moving forward, exploring, and allowing ourselves to grow through experience. The mind often resists taking action when certainty is lacking. It wants guarantees, proof that the path chosen will lead to success, fulfillment, or happiness. This hesitation keeps many people stuck, endlessly questioning what they should be doing instead of simply doing something. But purpose is not something we figure out in advance. It is something we uncover along the way. Each step we take, even if uncertain, brings clarity. Every experience, whether successful or not, reveal something about what resonates with us and what does not. Engaging with life means embracing curiosity. It means allowing ourselves to explore different interests, to try new things without the fear of failure. Many people stay trapped in inaction because they feel they must get it right the first time. But purpose is rarely revealed in an instant. It unfolds gradually. The things that bring us meaning often start as small sparks, moments of excitement, curiosity, or deep connection. By acting on these small sparks, we fan the flames of purpose into something greater. Another important aspect of taking action is overcoming the fear of failure. Many hesitate to move forward because they worry about making mistakes or choosing the wrong path. But there is no single right path. Every experience contributes to our growth. Even what seems like a failure teaches valuable lessons and refines our sense of direction. In fact, the willingness to fail is often what leads people to their most meaningful discoveries. Those who wait for perfect conditions before taking action often find themselves paralyzed by inaction, watching as life passes them by. One of the simplest ways to engage with life is to ask what excites me, what interests me. These questions do not require immediate, life-altering answers. They invite small steps, reading a book, starting a conversation, trying a new hobby, or pursuing a skill. Often, purpose is hidden in these small, seemingly insignificant choices. A person who enjoys helping others may start volunteering, leading to a deeper sense of fulfillment. A person drawn to creativity may begin experimenting with art, eventually realizing that it brings them joy and meaning. But none of this happens without taking the first step. Living with purpose is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It is about bringing purpose into the present moment. It is about engaging fully with whatever we do, approaching each experience with awareness and intention. As we immerse ourselves in life, rather than just thinking about it, we begin to notice patterns, desires, and connections that guide us toward deeper meaning. Purpose is not something we need to chase or find. It is something we create through action. The more we engage with life, the more life reveals to us. Every step, no matter how small, moves us closer to the deeper fulfillment we seek. Many people approach the idea of purpose with the belief that it must be fixed, absolute, and unchanging. They feel pressure to identify a singular life mission that will guide them forever. But purpose is not a rigid destination. It is a living, evolving force. Just as we grow and change, so does our understanding of meaning. Embracing this evolution allows us to live with greater freedom, curiosity, and openness to the unexpected paths that life presents. One of the greatest obstacles to discovering our purpose is the belief that it must remain the same throughout our lives. We often attach our identity to a specific career, role, or goal, assuming that once we find our purpose, it should remain fixed. But as we gain new experiences, as our perspectives shift, so too does what brings us fulfillment. What feels meaningful at one stage of life may no longer resonate in the next. This is not a failure or a sign of losing purpose. It's a natural part of growth. Consider a person who once felt deeply fulfilled in a particular career, but over time begins to feel disconnected from it. This does not mean they have lost their purpose. Rather, their purpose is evolving. It may be leading them toward new ways of expressing their gifts, toward different ways of serving others, or toward new forms of creativity. When we resist this evolution, we often feel stuck. But when we accept that purpose is fluid, we allow ourselves to explore new possibilities without fear. Letting purpose evolve also means releasing the idea that it must take a specific form. Some people believe that their purpose must be tied to a single passion or profession, but this is a limitation of the mind. Purpose is not confined to one job, one title, or one project. It is about how we show up in life, the energy we bring to what we do, and the ways we contribute to the world around us. A person may find deep meaning in teaching, but later in life they may feel called to write, mentor, or explore an entirely different field. The core essence of their purpose, sharing wisdom and inspiring others, remains the same, but the form it takes evolves. Another reason to embrace the evolution of purpose is that life itself is unpredictable. Unexpected events, personal transformations, and shifting circumstances all influence what feels meaningful. When we cling to an outdated sense of purpose, we may ignore new opportunities that are calling us. But when we trust in the unfolding of life, we recognize that each phase brings fresh possibilities. What matters is not rigidly holding on to a specific purpose, but remaining open to discovering deeper layers of meaning as we grow. Purpose is not a fixed destination, but a journey, one that unfolds moment by moment. The key is not to fear change, but to embrace it, knowing that each shift brings us closer to an even more authentic expression of who we are. As long as we remain open, curious, and willing to explore, our sense of purpose will continue to evolve, leading us toward greater fulfillment and deeper connection with life itself. Discovering your why is not about finding a single, fixed answer, but about embracing a journey of self-awareness, growth, and connection. It is not something waiting in the distant future, but something that reveals itself in the present moment, through action, challenges, and meaningful contributions. True purpose is not dictated by ego, external validation, or rigid expectations. It is a living force that evolves as we do. The key to uncovering purpose lies in moving beyond fear, engaging fully with life, and recognizing that fulfillment is found not just in personal success, but in serving something greater than ourselves. Challenges are not barriers to purpose. They are pathways to deeper understanding. Taking action, even without complete certainty, allows purpose to unfold naturally. And most importantly, purpose is not a final destination. It is an ever-changing expression of who we are and how we choose to show up in the world. Remember that purpose is not something you need to chase or force. It is something that already exists within you, waiting to be realized. Stay open, stay present, and trust that by living with intention, authenticity, and a willingness to grow, your why will continue to reveal itself in ways more meaningful than you could ever plan.